We now have a supercar license that we need in South Australia, and it's going to happen to every single state, unfortunately, at some point. Now, this U-Class license was implemented December 1st this year, and what this means is that if your car has over 276 kilowatts, or if it's a supercar like a Lamborghini Huracan, Ferrari 488, etc., you cannot drive that car without this special license. Now, the reason why this was implemented was a couple years ago, a white Lamborghini Huracan crashed into two girls and unfortunately killed one of them and injured one seriously. And out of all things, this is not a practical test. This is a theory test. So you need to answer a bunch of questions online, get them correct towards their standard, and you can then officially drive your high-powered vehicle. Today we're going to do the course and see if it's really any use after doing it. It's 30 to 40 minutes, but I do want to mention the fines if you get caught driving without this license in a high-powered vehicle are pretty dangerous. Now, the first offence, if you get caught driving without this license, is $2,500, and if you get caught a second time, it's 1 year imprisonment. You'd probably get less jail time for robbing a bank. And also, if you believe your car's been modified and you think it's over the power to weight ratio, you need to get it dyno tuned and checked to approve that. Don't know what the point is, because if you modify your car these days in Australia, you're going to get defected. I think it's now time to start this amazing online course so I can drive a Ferrari 488, which I do not own. So the one thing that they're really against, and I didn't bring this up before, you will be fined for having your car in a sport mode. People are going to use their sport modes on their sports cars. It's so stupid to say you can't use it. This is probably why you should have a practical element where they can go on a track day and they can learn how the car feels with sport mode and without sport mode, with traction control, without traction control. You know, these are things that you need in a practical element. So just telling people don't use sport mode doesn't do anything, because everyone's going to use sport mode. And this is the one thing that we were talking about. They do not want you to play with the drive mode settings. Anything with suspension, traction control, stability control. So basically all these things that make the car better, they don't want you to touch in any single way. Certain enhanced drive modes are inappropriate and illegal for use on public roads in South Australia and can only be driven on public roads in the appropriate street mode. In an emergency, it typically takes a driver 1.5 seconds to react, driving at 50 k's an hour. That's a long time. UHPVs have high performance braking systems, however, these do not reduce stopping distances. The friction between the tyres and the road is the only factor impacting stopping distance. If you have a supercar, which will have 4 6-pot piston calipers, really good brake pads, good quality stuff, it's still going to be better than any other car on the road at braking, no matter what you say. So what if someone's driving an SUV that's got a trailer they're towing? What about their braking distance? It's no better at all. You're still going to be way better in a supercar. What they're basically trying to say is, just because you've got a bigger and better braking system, it doesn't stop you any further than anyone else. I think it does. Maintenance and modification, this is going to be a scary one. Failure to service and maintain your vehicle according to the manufacturer's instructions can compromise its safe operation. How is that? What's that got to do with U-Class license holders? That's literally a general topic. And it's funny because most car people get defected anyway, even though they maintain their cars, compared to every other very unmaintained car on the road that you might see sliding past the police. I get the stuff about semi-slick tyres and whatnot. It's cool that they bring this up. Like, this is something that's important because there are different tyres are gonna react way different on the road. Question 1. Forgetting to change your drive mode is a valid reason to avoid a penalty. Alternative drive mode other than the street or urban mode specified by the manufacturer will result in a fine up to $5,000. A sport mode is made to make the car more enjoyable. Doesn't mean you're going to be a hoon on the road. UHPVs are not optimized for South Australian roads. What? So this is obviously an important one, because apparently when this white Lamborghini was driving, it didn't have traction control on before it had the unfortunate accident. So that's why they're so strict now on having all these systems on, because in their mind that if you have Sport Plus mode on, that it turns off these fancy systems, and that's going to cause danger. So this is collision avoidance on, collision avoidance off. Oh, whoa. Oh my God. Maybe if the guy was looking at the road, he wouldn't have crashed into the person. That the system must be on, but shouldn't you just brake instead of hit the car in front of you? Isn't that the whole thing about not being distracted? This is anti-lock braking system on and with it off. Oh no, he crashed into a tree. Okay, well I guess this person just did not see a big tree in front of them, hey. To ensure safety, driving this vehicle on the road with any of these systems disabled is now illegal. It is illegal to do it. The one thing I do understand, and I do agree with this, is the overconfidence in yourself and your vehicle's ability. Like, I can totally understand the point of, if you do have a cool car and you're probably in a bit of a crowded spot where people are looking, you might want to show the car off a little bit. Totally understand that, and I do think that's probably something that happens a lot. There is a lot of overconfidence, so yeah, that's totally a valid point. Negative emotions cause negative outcomes on the road, while positive emotions cause only positive outcomes. Eating, drinking, and selecting music are all examples of which influence. Distraction. It's now time for the big one, the U-Class knowledge test. I need to pass this, or else I'm not driving my Ferrari. You are required to obtain approval for a modification that puts your vehicle into a UHPV class. When semi-slick tires are warmed up, they offer increased cornering and steering stability in dry conditions. Can warm-up be achieved during normal driving on city streets? No, apparently not. What is the maximum penalty for driving a UHPV without an automated intervention system? They love telling you this. $5,000 fine and 6 demerit points. Holy shit, I didn't know it was 6 demerit points. That's half your points on a full license. I got it, you have passed the U-Class license knowledge test. I don't know why this feels so good to have a U-Class license, but at least for my $62 I can say I've got a U-Class license, and I'll guarantee you I won't be using it anytime soon. Alright guys, so that is the U-Class license. I hope I didn't give away too many difficult answers there. I want to know your thoughts on this. I think it's going to be, unfortunately, a mandatory thing around Australia soon. I don't see why other states won't follow in this. I mean, at the end of the day, the government's getting $82 brilliant out of my pocket for that. Maybe there's bits and pieces in there that can help you, but it's just such an odd thing to have on. I mean, the one thing I'm pretty against is, number one, the whole braking systems not being any more useful is ridiculous. And the second one, which was pretty strange, was the fact that you can't drive in a sport mode, and their reasoning is because it turns off traction control and you make a mistake, this and that. Look, I think if you're going to enjoy your vehicle, just drive according to the road conditions. I mean, if you're following the speed limit, the odds of you losing traction is very low anyway. One of the things they say is, if you think your car's got more than 276 kilowatts after modifying it, you should get it checked. That's great, but the problem we have in our states is we get defected for having cars that are modified. And it's funny because, like I've said before, if you're modifying your vehicle, it's probably better maintained and well checked out, as they want you to do. Anyway, like I said, let me know what your thoughts are. Thank you for watching, and I hope this video provided some education on the matter. See you guys in the next video.